Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about 3 reasons why it's more important to build mutual accountability with your relationships than it is to try to build influence. And I want to be really clear about something. I'm not saying that influence isn't important. It's absolutely important. But what I find is that influence actually tends to follow mutual accountability. And before we get into this, let's get a common definition of what I mean by mutual accountability. For me, mutual accountability in our relationships means that we take the time to really establish what our individual wants and needs are, what our collective wants and needs are, and how we use that to build an agreement on how we're going to help each other be individually and collectively successful. Okay, when I say mutual accountability, that's what I'm meaning. Now, let's talk about 3 reasons why I think it's more important to build mutual accountability than to just focus on influence with other people. The first is building mutual accountability is proactive. It allows us from the very beginning of a relationship to start asking, hey, what do you want to accomplish right now? What are your individual goals and objectives? What are my individual goals and objectives? What are the shared goals and objectives that we may have between us? And let's talk about how we can help each other be successful. Those are really practical, tangible things that you can start to dig into a relationship to establish mutual accountability. So that's one. The second thing is that, as I just described, it focuses on win-win, right? It's focusing on helping you accomplish your goals. It's focused on me accomplishing my goals and our shared goals together. The third reason that I find mutual accountability is more important to focus on is that you can approach it in a way that it assumes things aren't going to always be perfect in our relationship. It can assume that in any professional relationship, when you're really striving hard to accomplish big things, breakdowns in the relationship are a natural part of it. Now, when I say breakdowns, that doesn't mean that they have to become personal, or it doesn't mean that things are going to absolutely blow up. Really, all it means is that you and I talked about what our expectations and agreements are together. Maybe I break those. Maybe I break those on purpose, but maybe I just break those because inadvertently I did something that I really didn't realize it was going to be counter to our agreement. The same, maybe you did the same, but either way, we didn't meet expectations. When you're building mutual accountability at the very first end, once you get clear on what each person needs, what your agreements are, then you can say, okay, let's assume things aren't going to always be perfect. Let's assume then, if things get to a point where there's an actual or perceived breakdown in our agreements, let's talk about how we're going to handle that. Do that on the front end of the relationship, not under the moments of pressure. So that's why I think it's so much more important and so much more effective to build mutual accountability. Once you establish that and you start to have those experiences working together in that way, I find that the influence naturally flows in. So just a quick reminder, the 3 reasons why mutual accountability, I believe, is more important to focus on. First, it's proactive, right? Much more proactive than just trying to build influence. You can get in and do things immediately. Second, it focuses on the win-win in the relationship. And the third reason is it assumes things aren't going to be perfect up front, and you go ahead and have that conversation. How are we going to work together if and when we get a hiccup in our relationship? Hope you found this video useful. If you did, we ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please let us know any questions or thoughts you may have. Talk to you soon. Take care.